Namaste. I see the divine in you as you see the divine in me. Namaste. And isn't this always the most beautiful way to learn to greet each other? As I see the divine in you and you see the divine in me, we learn to understand that we are learning to walk a higher path of love consciousness. And learning to walk a higher path of love consciousness is very, very challenging for us as a collective, because we've been so separated on a path of understanding deeper spirituality all along, and we've not been able to understand the great divine truth for such a long time until now. I'd like to thank all the star beings of the Galactic Federations of Love who have been working very, very hard to create a pathway for us to go home. I'm very, very grateful how hard they've worked, and I realise how hard they've worked, although what I know on a human level is very small compared to what is. They've been working very, very hard for a long time, unitedly together, to allow us to have a pathway to go back home. If they had become separated and if they had had arguments all along, we would never ever be able to come to this time. So I just wanted to show my appreciation for the Galactic Federations of Light Societies, and I know that there are trillions working on this, so I'm very, very grateful. I'm also very, very grateful for all the Star Sacred World Healers who have been or have become activated so far, who are safe in the healing grids, so they are slowly learning the ways of love. And I'm also very, very grateful for all who desire to become activated with the Great Chiron, because then they can also learn to walk a higher way of love consciousness. And there is nothing more beautiful than to learn the ways of love. And when you become a Star Sacred World Healer, you can be part of something that's so new on this planet, that's never ever been seen before on this dimension, and that is learning to hold the higher flows. And in 2020, a large beam is coming to planet Earth, and unfortunately we haven't got enough Star Sacred World Healers yet to hold the flows. And I'm quite aware of how many there are needed now, and I didn't until recently, but I know now, so I know my light body has to increase enormously to be able to hold the flows. So that's very beautiful. So I hope you enjoy the show. So I'm going to close my eyes, but I'm going to read the forgiveness statement first. Chiron, I bring you now into my spaces of love and healing. I ask for your presence and for your love to be with me here at this time. I forgive all that has caused my pain to happen. I release it now. I allow the angels to take it away for me. I bring in the love and the peace, and I desire to understand more joy and self-love. I surround myself with the highest loving divine beings who are here to take care of me. I let go of all fear within me. I release it. I trust that all things are perfect as they are. I am ready to love myself and all of life more. Thank you, Chiron. Thank you, great divine love. And thank you very much for watching. Just a moment, please. Namaste. Greetings, dear brothers and sisters, dear sons and daughters in the light. I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. Happy is the one who desires to come to the great mountain of light and learn the ways of higher love. Happy is the one who appreciates divine truth and desires to become part of the greatest love consciousness path, to allow them to expand in the great love, to allow them to truly show their great works, to allow them to truly participate in the great healing work that is coming for your earth and for all of mankind. Happy is the one who desires to listen to the great Father, and I am the great Father. I am the great Father of all of creation, and all is part of me, and I desire all of creation to be in the great love, so that all can expand into the greater flows of love. Happy is the one who understands that and desires to become part of the new universes coming. For it was always stated through my designated channel Jesus 2,000 years ago, as is now through my designated channel Suzanna Maria Emmanuel, that there will be a time coming when no more suffering will be within anyone. Long away those days were, long into the history one day, and the people would remember the pain, but they would say, Sovereign Father Emmanuel the Great, we understand that they were part of us, but now look at the joy we are having. Look at the beauty that is within our consciousness. Now we are learning to celebrate life truly. And then the creation would say of the ones who were on planet Earth, Sovereign Father Emmanuel, we are so happy that we were part of the human race once upon a time. We learned what it was like to fall away from the love, and we learned the pain and the knowledge that the pain held. And look at how much more beautiful we have become now. For our names are in those record books, the books of life and knowledge, and all our knowledge is within those books, so that none of our learning and all our lifetimes on planet Earth and those following have ever been forgotten. And we are so happy, Great Father Emmanuel, that we may remember all things, so that all of the future generations on all of the future universes may never understand the suffering that we had as humans, because they do not need to, because it's all been written in the books of knowledge. Happy is the one that desires their name to be written in the books of knowledge. These are old prophecies, and these prophecies are certainly beginning to take place as they are becoming fulfilled in your day. Are you one of the ones that desire to be in the higher creation universes? Are you one of the ones that desire to understand how to become strong for your planet here on planet Earth? To stand united as one, bringing in the higher love of the great Ka-Airon, who is the love builder. I, as the great sovereign Lord Emmanuel, have given my most precious gift to your planet, and that is the living Word. Jesus was always the Word, as Suzanna is in your day. The Word brings my divine thoughts through to your planet, and only one has been designated ever to do that. This is how precious the sacred secret is, the secret that would never be known truly until the time of the great revelations taking place upon your planet. Happy is the one who has been on the watch to see all these prophecies becoming fulfilled. For then Those who understand it can be guided to the higher love and the higher talents. Jesus spoke about these talents 2,000 years ago. And he spoke about the preciousness of those talents. For those talents were very great, but only a few would ever desire to multiply them, and for the talents to grow into such beauty. And the people 2,000 years ago were greatly confused. What talents are those, Jesus? And so Jesus began to explain that these talents were very great. And the great master, the great Father, would gift these talents. And then the people upon the earth would go and find ways to grow the talents. Now it is the time for those talents to be given. When the people come to the great activations of the great mountain of light, the great Chiron, who is the greatest archangel in all of creation, they receive the talents. These talents are held within your Lemurian light codes. In Lemuria, you received talents. And you learn to multiply them. You learn to grow them as each code grew another code within you. You had the opportunity to become the strongest star beings in all the universes, and collectively you chose for the other path, and thus you lost your talents. So all this time on your planet, you've been searching for those precious talents. But you could never reach those talents until the sacred secret, the divine word, would rise together with the great Chiron, as those are the pathway upwards. And I, as the great sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, would bless those talents so much. So the ones who are star sacred world healers have received their talents back. And so I, as the great Lord, am asking, and how are they growing their talents? For in all things they do upon the earth now, magnify all things upwards. For it is on the earth that they will multiply their talents. It's not in the greater realms. For it is on the earth that they must learn to work with those talents, to bring in many to the divine activations. And it is those ones who bring so many in because of their talents and their love for divine love. Those ones will be among the greatest in all the greatest creation, for they have proven themselves worthy to be in those highest spaces. How do they prove themselves worthy? By bringing in the love to themselves. When you are activated with the great Chiron through the great word, you gain a greater flow of love within you. And at first it may seem very little, although you will feel the great flows happening. And then when you grow into the love, you will discover a great love for all of mankind and the earth. And your words become of love. And the angels in the greatest spaces will bless that work. And they will help you to grow into your greater gifts. And when you become a great teacher of love, and the great love flows, then those talents multiply many times over. So whatever you do on your planet, you will have magnified it greatly in the greatest spaces. Happy is the one who understands this, for then they can be truly blessed in all the universes coming. There will be those ones who will be in the greatest spaces, and they will become great creators of great universes. And they will always understand how precious that position will be, for they've worked so many lifetimes towards that time. In the times of Jesus, the people also heard about these precious positions. And some of the followers of Jesus began to argue amongst each other. who was the greatest of them. For they desired to be the great ones. And Jesus interrupted the argument. Please, brothers, do not fight among each other, he stated. Do you not know that it is the great Father who chooses who is to be in the greatest realms? For he looks at your heart. And what does he see when he sees you fighting? Do you not know that it is within the heart you evolve, not in your words? When you show your anger towards each other and your envy towards each other, what are you displaying to the great Father Emmanuel? Go and forgive yourselves and learn from this lesson. Learn to understand that it is the humble one who is the greatest of all. At times, the humble one may not seem to be doing much, but they constantly work hard in the love. They constantly do what is being asked. They constantly pray, Great Father Emmanuel, see me on this level. Help me to become who I am. Help me to seek out opportunities to speak to the people. What good is it if you fight amongst each other who is the greatest of all? For then neither of you will ever be able to achieve all that. For it is the humble ones who will achieve all. And so the people began to understand it more. This is not a humanly choosing. Suzanna cannot choose who is going to be seated in the greatest realms. So please do not come and approach her. For she will say, go and pray about it and be in a great love, for it is the great Father and all the great star beings and the great Chiron who will choose who are going to be the greatest creators and the new universe is coming among the people. The divine word has always been the most faithful of all of creation and the great universes. So she will be the great teacher in those universes, and I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, have prepared a great place for her. And in the greatest spaces you will see her as that blue archangel, and the great creator archangel. And she will be a guide for those who come to those spaces. A guide in the greatest spaces is a good teacher, and the teacher guides others how to do things. So her role in the greatest spaces is not to take over the roles of the creator beings, but to give them the codes and the power and the guidance of how to do this. In the same way, I, as Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great, am working through the divine word in your days, and this is going to increase in the near future, as well as the great Chiron when he works through the great divine word. For her light body is going to increase. She needs many new gifts now to help mankind, of those who desire to step in the love, to become of love, as the great gathering is about to take place. At first, only a few would see the road, and then many will see the road and desire it. And so the greater gathering will begin. Her role as the great teacher upon your planet is going to increase greatly. She is here to guide the people how to become of love. And she will take on significant tasks to bring through such enormous love to your planet, so that your planet can go to the next phase upwards. Understand that at this time a great separation is taking place. The old earth will not longer be, because it cannot be in the consciousness of my being, the Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great. I stated this through Jesus 2,000 years ago also. Look, a whole new phase of creation will begin, and there will be a great separation taking place between the people between the old ways and the new ways. And the old ways must pass away, for they do not belong to the new ways. The new ways must rise. The new ways are going to be great, and whoever inherits the new earth will become happy. Happy is the one who understands this. The people 2,000 years ago were very greatly confused at this. What is this new earth you're talking about? Jesus. And Jesus stated, all things will be made new. For the old and the new cannot exist together. And in the greater mansions of the great Father, all things will be new. But how can you learn to live in the great mansions of the great Father when you do not know how to work in the new on planet Earth? For all things must be learned on planet Earth before you can learn to hold the greater flows within the great mansion of the great mountain and the great sovereign Lord. How can you do that? For all things must be learned on planet Earth first before you can step into greater creation. The people 2,000 years ago were very happy to hear that there was another way coming, but they had no idea what Jesus was speaking about. Many called them a madman for thinking that a whole new earth was going to come in existence. Many joked about it, and many did many things, even stoned him for it. They threw many stones, and Jesus was often bruised. But it is so that these words that Jesus spoke about have so much meaning in your world. For your old earth cannot be. Your old earth is going to lead to destruction. And the people must learn a whole new way of life. How can you come into the new transformational energies and the greater creation if you do not know how to stand united together on your planet and learn new ways of love? But all things are a choosing, for this is your greatest gift, your freedom. Either you choose for the old or you choose for the new. However, you cannot choose for both, for the old and the new do not belong to each other. For those ones who come into the great mountain of healing, the great Kairon, they are becoming part of the new flows, and they receive a new personality of great love, and slowly they are rising into the greater love. And we as divine creators have given them time to learn, time to hold the higher flows before the flows increase to bring healing to mankind and your world. Please know that we as divine creators have so much intelligence that you do not understand it. Our power is so great that you do not understand it. It is time to look up and see the time approaching. Happy is the one who's been listening and who is awake. Greetings, I am Sovereign Lord Emmanuel the Great.
Greetings.